Control rig test part 2. So we're going to have a quick run through now. I've had a chance to get the control rig working. It's taken quite a while, a couple of weeks. Hard graft. Main thing is getting backward solve and forward solve working. So there's quite a large, super large blueprint going on there to run the control rig. It's got a kind of a setup section which sets all of the controls. We've got a number of within the skeleton. A lot of the control right down the end of the skeleton, all the actual body controls that are then assigned to different bones. I've got a backward solve section which takes the animations and bakes them into the controls, and then a forward solve section which took quite a while to sort out, which is what allows the control to then animate the bones. A lot of these colourful squiggly lines as well, I've had to compensate for the twist bones in the arms. So just to have a quick example on that. To drag this out. So we've got the control rig. We're in forward solve at the moment. So what forward solve allows us to do is to use the controls to animate the skeleton. So I've got the IK working on here as well now. So we can grab the arm, move the arm about, and see what I've done here is there's a slave control on the twist bone. So when I rotate the hand, it twists the arm. And that uses the IK. It's the same for the legs, and we've got the pole vectors which are used to then affect the elbow. So that's all the kind of things you can do with the forward solve. What I've been working on since then is to in backward solve, so we can, I'll grab a preview animation in here. Let's pick on let's try the SR8 fire animation. Whack this into backward solve, and then it bakes the animation from all of the bones into the control rig. What took a long time was then getting the backward solve to tie up with the forward solve. So when you run backwards and forwards at the same time, everything stays in one place. So what we've moved on to from there, I'll get rid of that. Okay, so I'm just starting this bit again because I fluffed it up a minute ago. So we're putting the gun into the level. Spin it around the right way because we're going to be needing that in a minute. And my control rig, which was stashed somewhere under characters. Right, so when you stick the control rig into the level, it automatically creates a level sequence. So we've got that in there. Turn my filters off, reset filters. Get rid of my control rig, so I'm going to need to bake an animation to that in a bit. I want to add my SR8 skeletal mesh to the level sequence as well while we're here. That 180, let's try it again, there we go. We want to add the animation for the SR8. That's why I didn't want it that way around. There we go. So this is where we can overlay multiple meshes and animations all in one level sequence. So we're going to, I know they're all 53 frames long, so we'll just standardise that while I'm here. That's my skeletal mesh in for that. We want to add the animation for the character. So grab the SR8 fire animation for that as well. So as that's positioned. So I can try and line these up together. I won't get it too precise, but close enough. A bit low. Okay, weapon in hand. A bit too far forwards. Walk it back there. Bring it over a smidgen. How's that look about right? I've got my rotation off somewhere. And that'll do. So if I play these animations, so the hands move and the bolt action works. But the gun doesn't move because it's not attached to the hands yet. Wish you wouldn't keep doing that. 53. Go from 0. So what we'll need to do is bake the animation from the character skeleton to the control rig, and that bakes attaches everything together there. And then what I want to do is parent. I forget it's around the right way. I want to grab that, and I want to add a constraint to parent it to the hand. Then I want to grab that hand and add a constraint, parent it to the root socket of the gun. So what that should have done then, so that's attached the hands to the gun, so we'll find out why that does that in a minute. The character, what I need to do is, because I want to, rather than completely animate the character from fresh, I'm going to modify the existing animation. So where's it gone? So we're going to add an additive track, which is active. And what that do, that will record any keyframes I'm adding from my movement, which can then get added on top of the existing animation. So you can have additive layers for any number of additive layers for different things. So in this instance I might want to grab the gun, and because I've got IK on the control rigs, it moves the arms with it. They're constrained together, so I might just change the pose. So I think if I stick the gun under his armpit or something like that. Obviously we want to change the pole vector to bring his elbow down. Somewhere under there maybe. So doing a bit of a hip fire. Drop that one under as well maybe, bring his arm down. Leave his head where it is. So now I've repositioned that. Obviously it's a lot easier than moving individual bones. I will add a keyframe at the beginning. So that's added a keyframe there. And that will stay, so that's now created a permanent offset. So hopefully when I play the animation now, it's playing as a hipfire rather than a that's gone out again. Let's just pause that. Don't want to go to 58, I want to go to 53. It'll be fine when I bake it, it's just it changes the numbers every now and again. There we go. Useful features, you can actually then mute these, which takes you back to your default pose, so you can set up different options and then turn them on and off and then bake them out to separate animations, however you please. So I'll just unmute that, go back to that pose, set that back to 0, all being well, get my numbers right. I should be able to bake this. So I can either bake a static pose or bake an animation sequence. I'm going to bake the animation sequence. I'll stick it in my temporary folder for now. We might call that SR8 hipfire. Okay, I'll use all the default options. That's baked. And if we open that, we've now got a hipfire animation. So playback range is too far up. I've stuck an extra bloody frame in there again. How irritating is that? I'll figure that one out later. So if I stick in, let's try that, a G3 character. So we've got the hipfire going on there. As opposed to the standard SR8 animation, which weapons SR8 fire. So we've got his hip fire and non-hip fire. Also, it's popping the thing out, an extra thing every time. But yeah, so that's the general, roughly how it works. Yeah, some interesting stuff, so you can do all sorts of things. I was playing around early, so you can actually that's it.